Hey everybody, welcome back to the Breath of Fire 3 walkthrough. We just are picking back up on this video on this battle from the previous video. I'm trying to think we just beat Tipo, and I think I just head back to the save room, you know, because that was a big chunk of story that I wanted to make sure I got all saved up and didn't lose a ton of progress. And then here I just cut a bunch of these fights. I think everything up to like the fights that we haven't I should say up to the new enemies, because I just didn't feel like I already hammered all of these enemies in this area pretty good, so I didn't really feel like we were gonna learn anything from these fights, and I didn't get any cool drops either, so it kind of felt like, what was the point? But here we can finally get into this room now that we have the key card from Tipo. And what do we have here? A light bangle. Wow, that's a letdown. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe that's a hint. Maybe that was like a hint, because there's some pretty nasty status effects coming up. I should say the enemies use pretty nasty status effects up ahead, so maybe that was a little, hey, I'm gonna be a light bangle. I don't know. Just a thought. And here we got a couple more cut fights. Not too many though. Alright, so finally here is security level A. Yeah, so this is like the final area. You can take any one you want from this point on. So there won't be any more, people forced into your party. And this is also, this actually isn't the last. That room isn't the last save spot. Now that I think about it, there is actually a save spot coming up here too that you can use. I don't. This door is kind of like the final push towards the end of the game, so I don't typically use that save spot very much. But that isn't to say that it's not useful, because it actually is. So, anyways, we finally have the vampire and the night bats. The vampire. Okay, so there's the burglar garb. If you'll remember, probably 2, maybe 3 videos ago, I mentioned the nightmare has the burglar garb as a drop, but that is not a good way to get it. Obviously, you can just steal it from this nightmare, and that is how I would suggest getting it. The nightmares also have power food. It's a much more difficult steal than from the plants. Oh my gosh, no, I can't remember the exact name. Foulweed? I think it's the foulweed. The ones that are sleeping in the whatever, in the other area. But the vampire does have a skill. Actually, the night bat does have a skill too. It's got gloom. And actually, being that I learned that at the beginning of the game, obviously I didn't spend time to actually learn it here. And in all honesty, in my opinion, it's only really actually useful to me anyway at the beginning of the game. So I didn't bother. I obviously I learned it right away, right when I could, and then didn't ever have to try to learn it from here. So okay, I guess I equipped the holy robe. I think I just equipped that because I wanted the death resistance, I'm guessing. At this point, I didn't have divine helmets. Oh, so that was one other thing. Oh, and then here's Evil Eye. This skill is just awesome. That skill is awesome. That will paralyze your target. One of the best enemy skills in the entire game, for sure. Oh, that man, I can't tell you how awesome that skill actually is, and actually useful. There's, I don't know. Frankly, it's pretty OP, but whatever. Anyways, so here's the other thing. The vampire is undead. So, or sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's not that he's undead. It's he has a wow. And everybody's recovering with willpower today, apparently. He is weak against Holy, so if you've got a Holy Avenger for the main character... Oh, did I equip it? I bet I didn't. Why am I so bad? There we go. Oh, okay, so I went with the Ascension instead, which is actually weaker than the Holy Avenger, so whatever. But there you go. I equipped one on Ree as well. So the vampire, unfortunately, the thing about the vampire is that I think they restore like 500 of their health every turn. So if you can't do, a ton of damage in one turn, it's gonna just drag out the battle and it's gonna take forever. So obviously you see I used Aura there, and then Ree with the Holy Avenger was enough to finally take him down. Oh, I'm gonna want to check here if there's any other fun stuff I can maybe mention about these. But their drop. I believe they have the Life Stealer, which is an item for Ree that will randomly, like, instantly kill the enemy. So that can kind of be useful as well. And then here is the Revenant. These guys, what do they have again? Are these magic shards? No. Oh, okay, Belladonna. Not really worth stealing from, but they do have the item Diana's Dress as a drop, and those I feel are the best armors for. Gosh, is it Nina only? I think it might only be Nina. It's either only Nina or it's Nina and Momo. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, and this is the only place to get them. The Revenant is the only one that drops them. So, this last area, actually it's the area coming up. I guess I'll talk about that a little more, but right here, I wouldn't suggest farming for those items right here. I think there is a spot down a little bit farther if you're trying to go for one of every item in the game. I think there is a spot a little bit farther down. Well, excuse me, that's a little bit better. And then, for these guys, the Life Stealer, again, same type of deal. If you want to try to get it here, go ahead. It's kind of rare. And you actually can get them from the Fairy Village, but you have to play the number guessing game, and I can't stand that game. I hate that game so bad. So I did not try to get it there, obviously. And here, I just keep getting paralyzed by these guys. So, Protectors plus an Ivory Charm is going to be my suggestion for your equipment for this area, because that skill gets really annoying, especially when he does it to the main character. He's your beef, or most likely going to be your major damage dealer for your team. So, again, can be a little annoying. And here we finally have the Mistman. which is another one of the enemies that has a very rare drop, as well as a very useful enemy skill. He's got the Thunder Strike skill, which has the chance to paralyze your target. So another very, very useful enemy skill. So, you know, they really saved the best enemy skills for last. But you know what? That's how it goes. So again, you know, I would suggest learning it here, or as soon as you can, because, you know, it is quite useful. And then these guys, much like the armor enemy, work the same way. You can't hit them too many times with a physical attack if you want their rare drop. And their drop is the Mist Armor, which I feel like it's the best armor in the game. You know, for the characters that can actually equip it. I believe it's like everybody except, I don't think Pico can equip it, and I don't think Nina can equip. Don't quote me on that though. I always excuse me, I forget who actually can. I'm almost 100% positive though that Pico can't. He really, his gear selection is not very good. So, I guess much like the armor enemy, the way I would suggest, you know, especially if you want to actually farm these, is to have the aura skill on the main character, and then just charm them once, and then, you know, if you need to, buff up your main character with, you know, with a might spell, either from Momo, or, you know, if you do have extra Holy Avengers, just use those. I don't really feel. Oh, and then these guys, they also have the Seeking Sword as a steal, and, you know, you could have bought that. You could have just purchased it from the shop outside of the dungeon, but, you know, I never really planned on using it anyway, so I figured I would just steal one from in here. Boy, which apparently just took me forever. Oh, and there's the reprisal, so there's one physical hit. I don't think I ended up getting the Seeking Sword anyway, in this. Oh, there we go, there's the Seeking Sword. Sorry, I don't think I ever got the Mist Armor in this particular fight. I think it took me quite a while to actually get it. The good thing is, though, the Mist Armor is actually has a decent drop rate, and then obviously doubled with the Charm skill. So basically, if you use a Charm on it, you should get it 1 in 32 battles with these guys. So, you know, when it comes right down to it, it's actually really easy to get, you know, in comparison to some of the other items here at the end of the game. The Life Stealer from the Vampire. The base is 1 in 128, so you can drop that down to 1 in 64. I do remember that took me quite a while to get. The Mist Armor, on the other hand, I believe I probably got it in, maybe 10 battles or something like that, so I got pretty lucky. And then this area is kind of a maze. I'm not going to... I mean, I've got footage of the whole thing, and I will just you know, I'll have footage of the whole area, but in all honesty, once you kind of like get the feel for this area, it's pretty easy, but it can be a little difficult to navigate when you're not familiar with it. But you know, just if I remember right, there isn't. Gosh, I don't think there's any fights in between the rooms. Like, I don't think there's any random fights in this area. I think the only yeah, we'll find out here in a minute. Just see if I can. Let's see if I actually get into any or not. But basically, these are the I don't know what you'd call these. The sample rooms, I guess, because These are just the enemies that you've already fought in the game, but they'll usually make you fight a bunch at the same time. So they're not, you know, they're not really anything special. They're pretty easy to take down, but yeah. Oh yeah, so I just grabbed power foods from all these because I mean they're power foods. You might as well. 3 power foods from one fight is pretty decent. And speaking of power foods, you know, in the area previous to this had the obviously we and I already talked about it a little bit, but the night bats. The night bats, I don't know. Again, you know, not my favorite place to farm for actual power. I kind of feel like the problem with them is that they've got the steal rate is not as good, and I don't remember if they're always with a vampire or not. Man, I'm not sure. I don't think they are actually. Now that I think about it, but just the steal rate alone. I don't know. I don't particularly like trying to get them from those, but at the same time, you know, usually when I think the formations for the night bats, there's usually always 3 of them together, so you know it probably takes less fights to get all of the power food you need, but I don't know. It's that steal rate really kind of feels, I don't know. It just feels annoying, I guess. But, you know, if, you know, you just decide on which way you want to go about it. And it looked like, was this? Oh no, it wasn't a dead end. I'm sorry. I thought that the red lights meant that you couldn't go in there, but that was not the case. Here we got a swallow eye. So one of very few places that you can actually, you know, get them from treasure chests and whatnot in the game. But I guess if you've you know, if you've used all of them and you know are kind of kicking yourself, you know, because you didn't copy them in the copy shop or something, I guess, you know, here's a place to get one of them anyway. You know, and then you could, you know, really, if you wanted to, you could run outside the dungeon and copy them to your heart's content if you wanted to do that, but that was actually, gosh, you know, I want to say in this playthrough, that was the only thing was really the only thing I copied other than, like, the Thunder Ring. You know, I copied 2 Thunder Rings or whatever so that I could have 3. I think I actually may have copied the Fire Rings, too. Probably Fire, Ice, and Thunder, now that I think about it. As well as, you know, I don't know, I think I got an Ivory. Oh man, I can never think of Ivory Charm. That's what those are. And, you know, I got that from the fairy, one of the, what is it, the exploration missions, as well as the Spirit Ring. So, you know, I copied all that stuff and whatever. This guy, you know, just like I want to say this is just like the Manmo in the desert. So I don't think this guy had anything useful. Trying to find him here. No, he doesn't. Wow, he doesn't even have a steel. How worthless are you, buddy? No particular weakness. Yeah, wow. Okay. Not much really to say about this guy. He's kind of just there. You know, I guess if you just wanted to get to the save room as fast as you can, I think this is the route that you take. Cause I'm pretty sure that's right where we're at. Oh wow. Yeah, that guy died fast. Okay. Huh. I don't know why I didn't change into Kaiser though. That was kind of a weird choice. Whatever. Maybe. Maybe I was just being cheap with my AP. I don't know. It's just seems really weird. It seems like a weird choice. But anyways, here's the save room. So we're gonna pick up this dungeon, right back where we left off in the next video. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But hope you guys are liking the videos. Oh, there was a hidden hourglass there. But anyways, hope you're liking the videos, and hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.